Alright, hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This, of course, is another anime reaction video. Today, we're going to be reacting to some more Gintama, episodes 51, 52. Last episode was amazing, even though it was technically filler, it was a lot of fun. So I'm excited to see where it's going to go next, because the director himself said he's going to be doing things, I forget exactly what he said, but he's going to be doing a good job in for the second year of Gintama. So I'm really excited to see him prove himself, because he's been doing an amazing job so far. And boy, even though I already saw the OP and ED last episode, I'm excited to see them again because it's been a little while. It's been like a day or two. So with that being said, let's get straight into the episode. As always, link in the description to Pixel Drain or BitChute for the full uncut reaction. So if you want to go there, watch the full reaction, and then come back here into YouTube for the discussion, go ahead and do so now. Alright, that was that was a really interesting episode, because it's another potentially two-parter if my sources are correct. Should the end of this little mini arc is gonna be ending episode 52. So that'll be really interesting. Maybe it's too early for it, but when I saw this kid, I was like, oh, maybe it's a flashback. But no, I think it might be too early for that. But we got this kid who was abandoned. Still no idea who this is, because I don't remember seeing that lady at any point before this episode. Maybe I'm just forgetting. But either way, I don't think this kid will definitely not stick around in the main cast. The only time I could imagine seeing this kid again is maybe because all shonen, pretty much every shonen series I've seen has a time skip. I think the only time I can think of off the top of my head where there hasn't been a time skip in a shonen anime has been Hunter x Hunter. Other than that, if I'm just like thinking about it for a little bit, pretty much all of them have had a time skip at some point, or if they're ongoing, there most likely will be a time skip. And since this is an older one, like, I know Bleach and Naruto have time skips. I've heard One Piece has a time skip, but I haven't actually read One Piece. So, and this was, at least the anime was around this time, so it'll probably have a time skip, if there is a time skip. Maybe we'll see like a slightly aged up version of this kid, depending on how long it is, because he's like maybe 1 or 2 years old right now. I'd say 1. Maybe even less than that, 'cause I'm pretty sure kids learn how to walk before they turn 1. I think. I don't remember for sure. But I think a max time skip in Gintama might be like 2 years. Even then, that might be a lot, because yeah, I don't know how long it'll be. So it won't be very old. But Dadtoki. This episode is prime Dadtoki, trying to take care of this kid in the best way he knows how. And very clearly he does know at least a little bit about child care, like infant care even, actually, because he knows how to change a goddamn diaper. I mean, did you see that? He knew how to change the diaper. He knew how to tie a strap so that the kid will stay attached to his back. Like, you think it's simple, but when you tie it, you really have to take into account the actual weight of the baby when you put it in, and how that weight will shift around when you actually walk or like bend over or stuff. And this probably isn't even like the most efficient way to do it. I don't know, I've never tried it before. But still, the fact that he knows some way to do it, and it's working from what we see. Yeah, and again, I don't remember seeing this lady at any point before. And she says it's her kid, but if it's not Gintoki's, who the hell could it be? Who could the father be if it's not Gintoki? Like, I don't think I mentioned it during the episode. I remember at one point I said I'm not going to say it, but I'll say it now. What if it's when Gintoki was strapped for cash, he went and donated. You probably don't get paid for it, but what if Sperm Bank? What if Sperm Bank? Is that a thing in the Gintama universe? I wouldn't be surprised. But what if? Because then it technically would be his kid. But he said the kid is part of the old man's like family and his like whatever merchant empire, is a or clan or whatever group in Kabuki Cho. So that couldn't be it, because the woman isn't in that group, very clearly, because I think he called her like a slut, and he's like beating the shit out of her, interrogating her for where the child comes from, and she's saying that that she doesn't need the kid doesn't need a mother. So I'm still not sure myself who's the father is supposed to be. I'm sure we'll find out in the next episode, but other than that, pretty standard in terms of animation. A pretty good episode. I mean, a great episode in terms of like the technicals, like the animation, the sound design, and the music. Pretty standard for Gintama. Really interested to see where this goes, because Gintoki's about to be heading into the building where Shinpachi, Kagura, and Hasegawa are, and they're about to get attacked. So, the old man seems like he's very strict. So, and then who's he gonna give the kid to? Is the revelation gonna be that he is in fact Gintoki's kid, and so this guy has to basically back off because he's not anyway related. He's not gonna be the heir to his company or whatever, and that it actually is Gintoki's kid. But then I don't know how they would resolve that, because Gintoki, I don't think they would do that, because adding Gintoki having to try and take care of a kid on top of his usual antics wouldn't work. The only like happy way I could see this ending is if the mother gets to leave with her son. And the only way, the only way I could probably think of it being like that is either the father is just some random guy and he like happens to look like Gintoki, or he, I don't know. I'm racking my brain, but I genuinely cannot figure out like what it might be. I can't theorize on what it might be. But either way, I'm excited to get into the next episode. So, yeah. That's all I had to say about this episode. Alright, so that mini arc is now over. And fuck. That was another really interesting thing. I just noticed that's the second mini arc we've had involving fathers. The first one being with Kagura's father. Both of which are shitty fathers that are trying to control another relative's or descendant's life because they've fucked up in the past and they want to make up for it for the future. And even though they did some shitty things for their kid, they do recognize it and they want to and they had reasons for why they did it. So again, I don't like the old man because, and I like him less than Umibozu, Kagura's father, because this dude was beating the shit out of the lady, and he himself said he was doing work in the red light district, getting his hands dirty and whatnot, which is also like, ugh. He's clearly not a very savory person, so to speak. But in regards to his treatment of his kid, and that he basically had him caged up and bedridden, I completely understand why. because his wife died after his kid was born. He wanted his kid to live for as long as possible for the sake of the mother, because he didn't take the mother's words to heart, that it doesn't matter if he can't live long as the time he has alive is spent in a way that'll make him as happy as can be, and that kind of thing wasn't making him happy. And if Kantaro was still alive, to see how he was treating, I think her name was Okada, then he would be even more unhappy with his father. So he'd be failing even more so than just when he was keeping him bedridden. But I still don't think that the old man has been completely redeemed, because he's still kind of a shithead in other regards. But it was nice to see that moment with the mother and the old man and the kid, and when he realized his mistake. And he's probably gonna try his very best to make effort in the future. I don't know if we'll actually see that at all in the future. I wouldn't be surprised if not, because like in the grand scheme of things, it's not huge that we see the aftermath of that. Like, you don't need an aftermath to everything to be able to like interpret it in a way that makes sense, you know? So, but other than that, this episode specifically was really fun. Because I'll never, and maybe that's part of it, is that I might get tired of it in the future if we get more jokes that revolve around the kid imitating Gintoki. But as of right now, I don't think I'd ever get old of it because it's just adorable. This guy, Okada Nizo was the samurai's name. I forget, wait. Because the girl's name was Ofuda, or Ofuka, or something like that. But this guy's Okada. He's an interesting character so far. I don't actually know what happened to him. They fought, and he lost, and that was pretty much it. We didn't actually see anything else beyond that, did we? Let me go back. Oh right, no, he knocked him out. My bad. So he knocked him out, hasn't killed him. He's 100% gonna be coming back later. But now I'm kind of like reevaluating what I was thinking when I first watched the ED in episode 50, because I figured, because the way the ED was structured, they had that one shot of Gintoki, Katsura, and Takasugi like in the middle of a war. It was like a still frame. It was painting across, and the most prominent figure, the one closest to like the camera, so to speak, in that shot was Gintoki himself. So, and then they had flashes of characters that are related to him. Kagura, Shinpachi, Elizabeth, and Katsura. And then they do a similar thing with Takasugi, where they show like a similar still, but with Takasugi taking the forefront. Let me go back just to make sure I'm not misremembering. But yeah, they show this similar shot with Takasugi, and then like a shot of him like standing still looking off. And then they show a bunch of faces of other characters who based on how they structured like showing old Gintoki and then the people in his life that are like newer in their relationship, so to speak, that makes me think it's a similar thing for Takasugi. So we met one of them, but as far as we know, like Okada, let me look this up so I'm not getting it wrong. And I also want to look up his voice actor. The fuck? Here, hold on a second. Okay, so yeah, Okada Nizo. I was right. So Okada, outside of his mention of him smelling like the beast, which honestly doesn't really tell us much except for he might know who Takasugi is. I was thinking about it, maybe not. Maybe Okada knows Gintoki from the war. If he does, Gintoki doesn't remember him, because he didn't like say, "Oh, I remember you." But I think it's more of a case that he just smells similar to Takasugi, and maybe he's working for Takasugi and we just didn't see it this episode. We'll see it later. But that's just something. So let me real quick check. So his voice actor is Yutaka Aoyama. Yeah. He also voices the narrator in the Kaguya-sama Love is War anime. Cannot wait for season 3 of that. I read ahead of the manga, and boy, is it a fucking is it a wild time in the manga. I've only read up to volume 16, which is real quick. Let me check. How many chapters is that? 161. So if the anime adapts for around 5 volumes per season so far, so it might be around the 15 volume mark in terms of adaptation. Depends on how far they go, depends how many episodes, because shit goes down. Shit will be going down in season 3. But that's completely off topic. Alright. So that's pretty much everything I can think of that I wanted to say about this episode. I think the only thing I'm concerned about is Well, no spoilers, but am I ever gonna see this child again in the Gintama anime, or is he gone forever? Is he lost to time? Are we never gonna see Gintoki interact with this child again? Because those are amazing. I loved all those interactions this whole episode. Well, I guess I'll just have to keep watching the show to find out, you know. But if you watch all the way to the end, thank you very much. Make sure to like the video if you enjoyed. Subscribe, so you turn on the notification bell as well, so you don't miss a single upload in the future. Peace.